Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another Burlingame. It's a small-town podcast sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. This is Mark Lucchese, also known as Mark at the Mic, and I've got something different going on for my next 4 podcasts. I will be interviewing the 4 candidates running for Burlingame City Council representing District 2. These candidates are, in alphabetical order, Nirmala Bandrapalli, Hadia Corey, Rachel Nee, and Desiree Thayer. Today, my guest is Nirmala Bandrapalli. Nirmala, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Glad to have you here. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself? Go right ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nirmala Bandrapalli, and I lived in Burlingame for over 20 years with my husband. His name is Sam Bandrapalli. And we had the privilege of raising our 3 children, Nidhi, Neha, and Sean, on Meadow Lane in Burlingame. We lived there. And they attended the local public schools, Lincoln, BIS, and BHS. And I love Burlingame. I thoroughly enjoying being part of the community. And, throughout my journey here in the U.S., Burlingame has become not just a place on a map, but it's my home. The community that has embraced me as a mother, a community volunteer, leader, an entrepreneur. I feel it's a privilege to live in a place like Burlingame, a small town.
I'm glad you said that. Burlingame, it's a small town. That's right.
Yes. And a little bit about my profession.
Yes.
I have worked I have 25 years of work experience working in technology, business, and finance. I worked as a program manager, I worked for leading companies like Genentech, UCSF, Kaiser, Meta, and currently I'm consulting for Gilead Sciences as a program manager.
That's in Foster City?
Yes, it's in Foster City.
Terrific.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Nirmala, why are you running for city council?
This country has given me so much. I came to this country with $100 in my hand with a dream and determination to pursue higher education. And today, what I am and who I am is all because of what this country has given me. And it's time to pay back. And I believe in civic engagement. And so I had the opportunity my first experience is to serve on a PTA, on school site council, and that's what got me started. And the power of collaboration and working together, making a difference in the community, and see the change happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what's got me started.
Okay. So speaking of making a difference, what did the citizens of Burlingame achieve by voting for you that they might not get by voting for somebody else? Let me put it this way. What makes you so special? Okay?
I lived in District 2 for the past 20 years. And I worked with pretty much most of the community in the city. I was on the Lincoln School Site Council. I was on the BIS School Site Council. Understanding the issues that the students are having. Looking at the safety plan, looking at the site plan, and I also worked on BCE fundraising. Right, I met a lot of people. How important it is to have great schools. How do we have great schools? It means provide great education. And our schools are public schools providing private education, right? Yeah. And so I got to, do a lot of the community work. I'm a volunteer. I'm an organizer for the, disaster preparedness. So I did that, one of the drills, BNN drills in our community for almost 14 years. And I also did for 12 years, how important it is to bring police and community together, right? So that the community can ask questions. So I did that national night out in my neighborhood for 14 years. This is how you bring people together. Wonderful. And that was something that I have done in the last 15 years. Not only that, I also served on the strategic board of the Peninsula Healthcare District. And Peninsula Healthcare District serves so many of the cities in our county. And so just being there and listening and doing the things that are important to the residents.
Yeah.
And while I was in the Burlingame, I was also part of the Burlingame Lions Club, right? Serving participating in the community activities, leading the initiatives. And during that time, I also met so many people, and I listened. I listened to the community for the past 15 years. Really understand what the real needs are. We talk about affordable housing, we talk about sustainability, climate plan. But Mark, let's talk about real issues. The things that makes people's life easy, right? It's our right to live a stress-free and happy and safe life. And right now, that's the problem we are having in our district.
We'll get to the issues in just a
Yes,
minute.
yes.
Okay. You just mentioned a lot of places you volunteered for, a lot of organizations and things. So Nirmala, what other committees and commissions have you worked on in Burlingame?
I was part of the Planning Commission from 2013 to 2017.
So that's a 4-year term?
Yes, it is a 4-year term.
Okay. Were there any other committees that you served on, beautification or library or anything like that?
No, that's the only commission that I served on.
That's
but
great.
at the county level, I served on. I'm currently serving also Commission on the Status of Women for the San Mateo County. I have been serving there since 2018.
Okay, great. What is the most pressing issue in Burlingame that you would like to deal with?
The most pressing issue for me is, Mark, the traffic congestion on California Drive. And that's...
Are we talking about the traffic condition that was caused by the bike lane, or is it just
It's
congested?
the change that was made. Especially, I'm not talking about, I like the bike lanes. I support the bike lanes going northbound, but the bike lanes going southbound, especially, north of Burlingame, north of Broadway.
Right.
The 2 blocks where they've taken away that second lane and everything is now 1 lane. And 1 lane turns into 3 lanes. 2 lanes turn left, 1 turn. But the person in front of that 1 lane decides to turn left, and if he doesn't have that opportunity to do so, then everybody behind them is stuck.
What kind of plan do you have to sort of fix that? Do you have anything in mind?
Well, I need to work with experts, city experts, to see what we can do, listen to the community, what is the best options. We have to kind of together figure the solution. But I know we can.
Yeah.
I actually spoke with Syed already. Syed, he's the Public Works Director.
Right.
I did reach out to him because, as I said, I knocked on over 2,000 doors, and this is like everybody has the same issue, right?
California Drive.
California Drive.
Okay.
Because so many people, we all go to work in the morning, and what used to take me 15 minutes to get to, BHS, to drive my son from Meadow Lane, now it's taking me anywhere from 25 minutes or longer even.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And everybody's facing the same issue.
Yeah. Okay. What's another issue that you
Another
would like to work
issue
on?
is, so people now, instead of taking California Drive, what are they doing is they're taking the side streets. So they are going on Paloma, Cappuccino, Laguna, or, all of those streets. And then they're racing at 40 because there's no traffic congestion.
Right.
And that's another issue. Because there are kids are trying to bike to school, either to Lincoln or to McKinley. And now we have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Right?
So traffic is kind of your headline, I guess.
Yes,
huh?
traffic is my headline, I could say. Traffic and safety. Safety, because of the traffic congestion, we have safety issues.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand, yes.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
And the second one, of course, is, I lived near Broadway for, 20 plus years, right? I love Broadway, and I would love to see, revitalize our Broadway shopping district, and while preserving its, of course, small town charm. I would love to collaborate with the Business Improvement District for cohesive strategies to enhance pedestrian friendliness through improved sidewalks, seating, and install functional street furniture and better lighting, and increased foot and bike controls, patrols.
Is your vision like a Burlingame Avenue?
No.
Okay.
Not Santana Row.
Okay.
It's like you go to some small town. That's
Right.
what you see. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
What does small town means? Means we are all connected. When you meet each other, you say, "Hi, how are you? How are your
Right.
kids?" That's the first question that comes, and that's what community is all about.
And you feel Broadway brings some of that character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely does. I go, John is there. I mean, you talk to John.
Right. The great John.
The great
Trevania.
John. He
Yes,
knows
yes,
everybody. He knows
sure
everything
does.
about everyone.
He's
you know?
terrific.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
Last week, I had Dan DeVoy on my show. He is the vice president of the Burlingame School Board of Trustees. And after the podcast was over, we were just talking about some things that was on his mind. And he was thinking, geez, I wish there was a way maybe city council and the school board could work more closely together. Do you have any comment on that?
Oh, absolutely. When I was serving on the school site council at Lincoln and BIS, so many times I thought, wow, wouldn't that be wonderful if a council, and whenever I brought things up and they said, oh, no, city council, and don't connect them, they're separate. But then I thought, wouldn't that be wonderful if they can really work together, partner together, for example, infrastructure. You know, that to me is, there are so many sidewalks that are really, they have cracks. And the students are biking on the streets. If you go check out near Casada Way, you know, around that direction. And that to me, that's number one. How we can make the bike path to school more safer. And that city can definitely do that. And then also city can contribute to the scholarship fund. You know, that's something that they can promote it even. And then, of course, right now, city has a collaboration with the enrichment program. We should strengthen that more, do more, how we can do more, offer more programs, even at school itself as well as community center. You know, especially underprivileged kids, right? They may not be able to afford some of those after-school programs. So how can we support them?
Okay.
You know, those are, I think, would be wonderful if we can do that. And, much appreciated.
All right. Nirmala, you know that Burlingame is experiencing a lot of growth right now. Buildings going up all over the place, housing going up, which is terrific. And it's going to continue to do so, right? So what would be your vision for managing future development while maintaining, you know, the intimate closeness and character of our city? With all this growth going on, how do we keep the character of the city?
I think the growth is inevitable. It's going to happen, right? All we can do is be prepared for it. And I think and then our city council, I would say here, they did an excellent job by capturing, you know, have the strategic plan in place that you can read in the housing element, what they have done, the 5-year plan. It's like, so we do have affordable housing state mandates that we have 3,000 plus housing units, affordable units available. And we are already either approved or in the process of approving over 2,000. Which is wonderful. And the best part is they're all distributed towards the transit-oriented development, means where the BART station is or where the Caltrain station is. Or, in fact, they have changed the Rollins Road zoning to residential now, so which is really wonderful. We have a lot of mixed-use development going on there. And I think that is close to the BART station, so people don't have to drive. And I think those are the places I would definitely focus on. That, and Bayfront is a great opportunity. We have, there is also a lot of construction going on. I know Burlingame has already approved a few life sciences, and there is other mixed-use development is going on. And I think that's where we should focus on. No, I don't believe we should go into the neighborhoods. Yeah. And that's what I see. That's because that's what's special about Burlingame. Yeah. And if we start building 5-story, buildings in middle of the residential neighborhoods, that's going to have a big impact. Yeah. Not only, traffic congestion, also imagine the schools too, Like we definitely, right now we only have one middle school.
Yeah, BIS.
BIS,
right?
That's about it. And we have 5, 6, I think, elementary schools.
6 elementary schools.
And one middle school. Imagine that, all 6 schools are feeder for that BIS. And I think this is something we to think about, the future, what we should do, how we should, maybe another middle school in the works.
Yeah.
If the number of students go up. I don't think our Burlingame value will ever go down because students, our schools are distinguished schools, actually. If you look at them all, they all have 10, I totally support affordable housing, but we need to ensure that it is done, a balanced growth is really important.
Okay.
And that's what I believe in.
Thank you. I read recently that the city of San Mateo may be facing some budget deficits. If that was to happen here in Burlingame, how would you prioritize spending if budget cuts became necessary?
Yes, so Mark, currently I have to share with you that we have 7.1 million deficit in our general fund, and we are using our reserves already.
We're using our reserves
to do some capital improvement projects. And so for us to have surplus in our general fund, it's going to be 2028. We have to wait. I mean, it's all happened because of the, COVID, the pandemic, and then the hotels were empty, and that had a big impact on our finance. But I think, if there are budget cuts, just like home, how you manage your home. If you have two salaries coming, you do things different. You have one salary coming, you do things different.
Yeah.
You cut down on the things you prioritize. Prioritizing budget is so important. I would prioritize the critical capital projects, that ensure first public safety and infrastructure integrity, and potentially deferring non-essential projects. That's what I would do. And then, of course, we should pursue the state and federal grants for specific projects to alleviate the financial strain. And I also would explore new revenue streams through partnerships and innovative tax structures. I would also conduct a comprehensive review of the expenditure to identify cost savings opportunities. And of course, boosting our business engagement to attract new businesses and increase sales tax revenue. I think that's all really important, and streamlining operations within the city departments to enhance efficiency and reduce costs.
Yeah.
And those all will help, with the budget.
Great answer. Thank you. Okay, let's say it's November 6th. You've been elected to city council, right? You're going to be involved in other projects while you're on city council. There's certain commissions that you'll be volunteering for and being part of, right? With all that going on and your career, how are you going to stay engaged with the community?
My work is supporting community. The work I do is working with the community. That's what it is.
Working with the Burlingame community?
Absolutely. Mark, as you can see, the number of hours I spend on a weekly basis, attending all the meetings, meeting with people to work on a particular task. That's what I do beside my work. In fact, as I said, all the professions I held so far, the most important thing is being a dedicated public servant. I love it. To me, it's not a job, it's a calling. I love it.
Okay. Obviously, Nirmala, Burlingame means a lot to you just with I can see that. But let's say now it's November 6th again, and you didn't make it, right? You weren't elected. If you don't get elected, have you thought about ways that you might still stay involved with the city?
So, Mark, I actually ran in 2015. I was very passionate, same. And I lost. I lost Emily Beach and Donna Colson. But, you can be a leader from any chair. I don't have to be on the city council to serve the people I love, and the city I love, and the county I love. So I became part of the Commission on Status of Women since 2009. I'm supporting 20 cities, improving the quality of life for all the women in 20 cities. I mean, what a privilege that is, an honor that is. And I also became the third Color of Women president for the Burlingame Lions Club during that time. And that's also a privilege to serve, the community in
Absolutely.
so many ways. Mm-hmm. So I never really stopped doing things to serve my community. In fact, I have doubled it. I did more, and I'm very, very grateful to God for giving me such an amazing, loving, caring husband who supports the things that I like to do, and being my, being there with me.
Yeah.
And my daughters too. And that's what I did. I inculcated that service, the sense of service. My oldest daughter, Nidhi, she became a youth commissioner for the San Mateo Youth Commission. And then she went on to being the president, and she did amazing work. And now she's at USC doing a rotation program. She finished her master's in public health as administrative fellow. And she said, "Mom, I want to serve on the status of Status of Women Commission in
Wonderful.
LA. And I think
Wonderful.
I love to see that, continue.
Great. Great answer. Thank you. Nirmala Bandrapalli, thank you so much for being a guest today.
Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate you having me. And
I'd like to thank Nirmala Bandrapalli for being my guest today on Burlingame. It's a small town podcast sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. Thanks to the great Ray Tyler for video. Original music by Bray. You can hear more of Bray at braymusic.com. This podcast was recorded on Thursday, September 26th at the Burlingame Public Library. The Burlingame Historical Society copyrights this program, and no part can be copied and replayed without the written consent of the Burlingame Historical Society. So until next time, everyone, see you around Burlingame. It's a small town.